$1,000 in a trading account and traded US30 using my new strategy combined with my US30 strategy. So this is just before the news came out at just before 1:30 on Friday, which was 2 days ago. So I'm going to show you the news right now, show you what happened. So here is the news data that came out. It may look confusing to you, but this is vital. It's imperative to everything that happened. So do not skip over it. So the main news we had was NFP right here. So basically all they said was in the United States, unemployment fell, which is a bullish thing for the American economy. And obviously the US30 is a tracker of this to a degree. So unemployment fell in the United States. You can see here, everything's green. Unemployment fell. The average income grew. This was over the past month. So unemployment fell, average income grew, and also Canadian unemployment fell. And the relationship between the United States and Canada, everyone knows it. They're the biggest trade partners that there is. They're very intertwined economies. So all of this news, 5 different bits of news came out. All of it was bullish for US30. And this is why I had such a strong upside bias going into the day, and which is why I was only looking for buys, because all 5 bits of news that came out were bullish. So I could use this, because NFP is a high impact news event, I could use this with the strategy. The new strategy states that to see upside from news, I must first see downside. So now I was thinking, where can I see the downside move to catch the upside? Initially, I've got a US zone down there, but that was so far down, I was not expecting a push. So I'm thinking to the last time that we traded this price around US session, what do we have? Well, we had this zone in here from the last Wednesday. So this zone in here was from the last Wednesday. Let's get this on. Take this across all the way to where price currently is. So this is the zone I had on. So before trying to find this upside, I was looking for downside to this zone right here and see a rejection at this zone so I can actually start buying to the upside. I'm now going to show you the first 5 minutes of the news that came out. So it pushed down. Where did it go? Exactly into this zone before wicking back up, leaving us that long low wick below, leaving us that rejection to indicate that we had rejected this exact zone. And remember, we're only looking for upside because of the bullish news that came out, yet we've had a big drop to the downside, and now we've ended up rejecting. So from this exact point is when it was safe for me to buy. I took a buy to the upside from this point right here. My stop was just below the zone in there. So this was my entry point, but in terms of targets, what did I do? Well, I was expecting a massive, massive move all the way up to the previous weekly high. I didn't fully think it was going to go there, but I was expecting a giant, giant move to the upside that I was going to try catch on this 1K account. The goal was to get the account to 10K in this trade. However, I'm going to show you what happens. But my target was massive, as high as it possibly could be. I was looking to correct the whole weekly downwards push. So the whole week we had pushed to the downside. I was looking to correct that from the low down here and then correct it all the way to the top, because the news was so bullish and I was expecting so much movement, especially seeing as we got in this trade an hour before the session had even opened because of news. So this allowed me to target very big, and I was trying to get the account to 10K. So I'm going to show you what happened. So we did end up pushing up from this point. We started to reject this zone a little bit, which was a key zone. This was the most key zone. However, I was 100% faithful that we were going to break straight through it, just because of how bullish the news was, how bullish I was expecting price to be today. I was expecting price to break through. Now, I entered here at 1:30, like I said, an hour before the session even starts. So I was looking for that push up so I could add more at 2:30 once NYSE had actually opened. So at this point, you can see this is where NYSE opened. So if I just take it back one step, this is where NYSE opened. So I'd had a nice push from my initial entry from the news point. Now NYSE had opened here. All I was looking for was a drop into this zone here. There's a clear US zone from the previous day. It's a very strong one I was looking at. I was looking for a drop into that so I could just add further long positions to my trade. And hopefully from that point, we were going to bounce all the way to the upside. But you can see what happened here. The first 5 minutes of NYSE dropped down this far before wicking back up and strongly pushing to the upside. So from this point, this is what told me that we were not going to tap into this zone today. There's just way too much bullish momentum for us to tap into the zone. So we just ended up flying off. Now, luckily, once we flipped the candle, I actually bought. This is not something I would usually do. It's not part of the strategy. It's just because I was already in a position down here. So I had buffer, I had margin buffer to take a trade around there just in case it did end up pulling back. And also because it was such an unusual day, I was expecting so much momentum that I just took a trade as soon as it flipped on the upside like that. And then from this point, I'm going to show you the 15-minute close. So the 15-minute close like that, they were the first 5 minutes of NYSE. So this is what it looked like on the 15-minute. You can see incredibly bullish candle. And at this point, I was thinking, surely we are only 15 minutes into the session. We've still got 7 hours left. Surely we're going to push all the way to my TP, smash it, and I'll get my account to 10K. That's exactly what I was thinking after the first 15 minutes of NYSE. This is when all the volume kicks in and we should be pushing to the upside. And now I'm going to show you what happened through the session. So I noticed price started to do this. It did this, it did this, it did this, and did this even more. So price just ranged to the side for the next 3 hours. And this is the most crucial time of the session in which the volume, the momentum is meant to be there pushing. However, on this day, it was unfortunate. Price did not. It just ranged to the side for the crucial 3 hours, which really halted this trade, meaning that to get all the way to the TP was looking highly unlikely at this point. So from 2:45 until 5:45, just play it a bit further, till 5:45, price just ranged off to the side, and that really did kill the potential of this trade off a little bit. So at this point, I was thinking, can we let it run to the end of the session and just see what happens? And this is what happened. We did end up having the push just towards the end of the session. You can see, I'll just take this across. So that range there was really unfortunate, because if we did manage to push instead of range in this little period, then I have no doubt we would have hit all the big target up there. However, because we didn't do that, because we did just end up ranging, unfortunately, it was not optimum. However, from around 5:45, we did end up pushing to the upside, and this was the next big key zone in here. I was thinking, shall I secure right to that zone? Because you can see it tapped in and secured, but I thought it's okay. We've still got about an hour or two left. I'm going to let it hold on, see if we can push above the zone. But unfortunately, price did just trickle out till the end of the day, and I ended up closing it out at the end of the day in there. So that is where the day closed. That was the full trade on US30. What happened throughout, it could have been much bigger. However, it's beyond anything we can control. The market just ranged at a key time. It's beyond our control. Here is what the profits looked like.
So you can see here the trade. So I put 425 in. There was already 575 in the account for some reason. It's an old account. It was already in there. And then these were all the US30 trades in total. All the different positions, it made out to be 3K. So it took the account up to 4K. There's no commissions whatsoever on IC markets when trading US30. So that's why it's perfect. And it's right up to 4K. Could have been more, but obviously a huge trade, still take that.